Marlon here, guys. I'll be talking about an issue in assessment in this video, as apparently this is the most urgent and the top concern of schools at the moment. Teachers are having difficulty in conducting same form of assessment as before, in terms of quality, validity, and also integrity, and that unfortunately needed to be taken online due to the stay-home policies of government. Schools are facing challenges as to how they will give the grade for this last term. One suggestion is to use the regression line to determine the grade of a student. But before the how and why regarding that, let me go through how data from science experiments are being analyzed. Science's experiments are often about the relationship between two things or two variables. The assumption is that throughout the experiment, students were able to hold variables constant except for those variables under study. Imagine we have a variable or a factor, call it y, and how it is related to another variable x. Then we control the others, everything else. An example can be temperature y being recorded while some kind of material is being heated. Then the time x was also recorded every time a temperature was measured. Say at a certain time x, the temperature value is here. At another value of time x, the temperature y is this. At another x, y is this, and so on. After all pairs of values are plotted, we then sketch a line that fits all the data, like this one. This is called regression line in statistics. Science students and teachers alike have been calling this as line of best fit. This line tells the trend or relationship when the experiment was done perfectly or no possibility of errors. Science students should recognize that there may be things in the lab that went beyond their control. Let's say human errors, like when they didn't read the thermometer at eye level. They didn't consider the meniscus in the thermometer also. Not all heat transfer to the device, the degree of uncertainty of stopwatch and thermometer, and some other factors that they weren't able to control. Those are the reasons behind the deviations of data points from the best fit line, like this. Without those, say the experiment was done perfectly, then this point would be here, this one is here, and there. Each pair of values are going to be in the line. The line is going to be similar to those shown by teachers when the lesson is plotting graphs in a mathematics class, like this one. This is the regression line or the best fit line. We can extend this to find the temperature y at a certain time x, say here, at this x. This procedure, guys, is called extrapolation. Okay, now let's see how and why this can be done in providing a grade for this term. Right, I'll start with what I know about our year-end exam. If what you have in your school is different from my assumptions, please do think again before following this suggestion. This idea is formulated primarily because in most ways what we were doing and the data we have right now strongly resembles the kind of data gathered in science experiments. The mode of assessment is of course a properly set paper following a well-defined TOS with all or most of the assessment objectives or competencies are the same. The structure of the exam questions are the same. Assuming that the student didn't stop studying even in this school closure, had attended your online teaching, did the activities, listened to your lecture just as he did in the previous terms, we can then plot his data. This time, y is the grade of a student, x is still time, but in terms of terms. We have term 1, term 2, term 3. Along the vertical axis, we have grades from 0, 50s here, and 100. Now we plot the points. Say in term 1, his grade was 75, term 2, 70, term 3, around 78. Okay, like that. Here is going to be the line of best fit. If you want to know or have an idea on what likely the student's grade in term 4B, we extend this line till here. This is called the best fit grade. Guys, you should also note that given the assumptions I mentioned earlier, this method would even be more accurate if we had more data, like in O and A levels under Cambridge Assessment International Education, or EDEXL, International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, where subjects are usually completed in 2 years. In these cases, there will be more data points to use to draw the regression line. We use this idea in providing predicted grades and determining rank orders of students per syllabus in Cambridge's June 2020 series. Now, for other levels, there might be some issues. If we only have three pairs of data, the extrapolated point, this, especially when the grades are extreme or there is a large difference between the values, may not be very accurate. Now, about what was tested by the exam papers. Though the assessment objectives are the same in all your papers every term, but the content of the papers can be different. Term 1 exam can be just what were completed in the first 2 months of school. Term 2 content may be different. Different also in term 3. Now, all content to be tested supposedly in term 4. But we don't have a similar assessment as in our previous terms in term 4. Now, how do we deal with it? Okay, let me clear this graph first to include only the grade term points. Alright, there you go. We can name this point M. This one is A and this one is U. What we are going to do is to plot the grade in term 1 at term 1. But for term 2, we plot the average of his grades within the semester instead of just the exact term 2 data. This calculation of what to plot should be done to address the issue on different content tested in exam papers given in these two terms, and also the possible large difference between the grades received by the students in term 1 and in term 2. For the third point, we plot the average of the second plotted point and the term 3 grade in this X term 3. Likely, after doing this, our second point on the graph will be this, and the third one will be here. And using what we learned from the science experiment earlier, we will draw a best fit line using those plotted points here. With this, we can now extrapolate the line to find what we really need, this one. This method involving plotting of points, drawing best fit line, and extrapolation to find the best fit grade is a suggestion, a suggested solution to the issue presented at the beginning of this video. If you are interested, I have a few other videos. I have suggestions about education and educational technology there. Feel free to watch in YouTube on free time. I would be very pleased to know that I have shared some of my idea and what I know to someone. Alright, that's pretty all for me for now. Thank you for watching. Bye.